Come journey to Haiti for an experience immersed in beauty and solidified in history, where the people are promising and the children hold on for future love.
The story of the country starts where all the slaves were brought to this island. This part of the island is where the French were settled. And there's the other part, which is 2/3 of the island, which is the Dominican Republic, was settled by the Spanish. In 1804, this nation, the Haitian people, they fight the French people to get their independence. After our independence, the Haitian people wanted to make sure that they keep that independence. So they built fortresses all over the country because they were afraid that the French will come back and then get the country back again. People still struggling with life there in Haiti. Because they are still struggling, they expect more from the Haitian government. For the last decades, the way the people had received help was from the outside. And that's why it is not surprising to see if there's a strike, they will go in front of the embassy because people think that, well, if they cry out, their voice will be heard.
Before I moved to Haiti, I was a history teacher. So I've always been struck by the history of Haiti. A really, really hopeless situation with the slave trade. I mean, it was a country that housed the slaves that were going to be sold elsewhere in the world. Then going through this revolt and revolution, I think it's something for us as Americans that we can relate to, this striving for independence. Probably even more so for Haiti because it went from being slaves to being free.
Non pays qui très dur, pays a pas offrir rien, même les moun nan gen ti moun, ils voient l'école, si c'est pas l'argent gain pour voyer à l'université ou pas gain moyen, si pas gain l'argent pour voyer ti moun nan, si pas gain ou pas travailler, ou pas aider famille pour aider on l'autre ti moun do.
You see all those children, all those parents actually trying to find places to bring those children they love. It's because they're looking for help and they can't offer it.
Children of the Promise is an infant care center, and we admit kids 0 to 3. Well, our first goal is not to admit them. Our first goal is to keep them with their family. And so we have formula program, medical Mamba program. We also have a prenatal program to help moms during their pregnancy so that they can keep their children and they have a healthy birth. If we are not able to help a child in their home and they're in need of admission, then we will admit the child. We will try to nurture them back to health. So if we can't keep them with their family, if we can't rehabilitate them and return them to their family, at that point we seek adoption, because our goal is to keep kids with families.
We went to Haiti in June of 2011, just went to serve, and we didn't have any intention to adopt. And then one of the last days we were in Haiti, somebody said that we should take our picture with a couple kids. I happened to be holding Sabine, and Chris was holding Christella.
When we were on the mission trip in June of 2011, we got to meet those two. Sabine was a twin. Her twin's name was Sabina, and they both came to the orphanage at 7 months old. Their father was killed in the earthquake in 2010 when her mother, biological mother, was 8 months pregnant with them, and she was raising 2 other sons. Sabina was significantly smaller than Sabine. She passed away at Children of the Promise at about 10 months old. Christella, her mother was not supposed to have more children. She had anemia and passed away a month after she delivered Christella. We feel like Sabine really attached to Christella just to replace that bond.
When we got home, we put that on our background on our computer, and we looked at that picture all the time. At December that year, we decided to start the adoption process.
There is a process that early on went in Haiti where a lot of poorer families, they would connect with families that had a little more wealth, and oftentimes the children would go move and live with the wealthier families for a time. The children would basically, be workers or servants for the wealthier families. And so that's kind of wrapped into the history of Haiti. So when we work with biological parents, we have to go through this process of explaining international adoption. They love their child, and they don't want to give up, being able to know their child as they develop. So we're very careful to explain, this is what international adoption is. This is what it will look like. And there's no promises that that child will come back or know you again.
With Christella especially, going to sleep at night is really hard for her. One of the counselors I talked to said that she doesn't like to let go of control of things, and going into the unconscious of sleep is really scary. And so she would cry even if we were in there with her. The first week, her and Sabine slept in the same twin bed. They felt more comfortable touching each other and being close, and that lasted about a week, and then Christella told Sabine to go back in her own bed. So we knew at that point she was getting a little more comfortable.
See it through the eyes of the kids. I mean, their entire life, all they've known is Haiti. And for most of them, the life they've known in Haiti has been difficult. And now they're going to a place that they know nothing about. And this family is opening themselves up to this child. And they're saying, "You are mine now." And for a lot of our kids, they don't even know what it means to be someone's. For adoptive parents, it's being patient and walking with your child through this process, and realizing that their heart's not going to recognize you as mom and dad right away always. It's not a switch that you can turn on. They still have a lot of emotions from their past that they're going to have to confront. And I can tell you from experience that walking through the emotions that come along with abandonment for our children, it's a hard, hard process. It's heartbreaking. I didn't think that amount of emotion could come out of a little person like that. I think it convinces me again the importance of the work we're doing.
And every face looks just like yours.